Hey everyone, what's up? Welcome back to Boss Rush Podcast. This is the pre-show for episode 238. Hopefully you guys are here and having fun with us tonight because we have a special guest with us tonight. All the way from when we met them in the north. It is Matt Storm.
Hi.
How's it
I'm
going?
so happy to be good. I'm happy to be here. Yeah, I got to meet the whole crew, or most of the crew. I can't say the whole crew because I didn't get to meet you, LeRon, but I met most of the crew at PAX East. I'm excited to see a lot of you folks at PAX West as well. Yeah, it was a blast. You know, I've been reading Boss Rush stuff for ages. The one and only Dan Colonna, who I know you guys have worked with a bunch, turned me on to your stuff several years ago because he had written some articles I know for you guys and stuff, and had been a guest. And so once I discovered y'all, I kept up with, and I'm excited to be a part of the show.
Yeah, awesome. We love Dan, and Dan always brings us like the best introductions to new people. So yeah, welcome. And of course, it's your boy LeRon back in the house tonight. Corey is out. He had some things to take care of, but he gives everybody his well wishes and stuff like that. But of course, PK Power Pat Klein is here.
Wow, I almost thought you were forgetting about me here for a moment.
No. We had to give our guest top billing first. You know, I'm trying something different where we prioritize the guest before, because everybody knows who we are, Pat. Come on, man.
Yeah, I know that. It's just you went from the guest to you. It's like, oh, okay, whatever.
Okay, maybe I was selfish. Next time.
Cool.
I'm sorry. Next time, what I'll do is I'll do guest first, and then I'll make sure I'm last.
You gotta talk to me about those changes, man. You know what it does to my anxiety.
Yeah, we want to keep you cool as a cucumber, there, brother.
Thank you.
How are you doing, man? How you doing, Pat?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm living it. Just living it.
Yeah. I think I can say the same. Just living it. Work still work. Podcasting still podcasting, and yeah. That's about all that's interesting going on in my life.
Yeah. I'm trying to catch up on like some backlog stuff before the storm of releases here within the next few weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. Like August is like a loaded month, and I'm just playing blind darts with the with the board. You know, I got the blindfold on, and I'm just throwing darts because I don't know what I'm going to be playing, or how I'm going to play it, or what order I'm going to be playing them in. This month is crazy, but I will be playing a few of the new games that are coming out, especially one that deals with a certain princess from a faraway kingdom. That is this month, right?
No, that's next month.
Yep, September.
Okay. I'm way too excited. Oh well. I'm sure there's other stuff going on.
Play a Monkey Man though.
Exactly. So I haven't pre-ordered it yet. Not for PC. I haven't pre-ordered it yet, but I feel like I should be safe. It's not like they make limited editions of like the deluxe editions, you know. Yeah. All right. So for everybody that's out there listening right now, you kind of know what this is. This is the pre-show for the Boss Rush Podcast. You have access to it automatically just for being a member of our Patreon, and it all starts at the bronze tier, which starts at $1. So just remember, $1 gets you access to a whole bunch of goodies, and we are always here to bring new additional topics to you, conversation revolving around anything that either our chosen panelists will bring during the week, or just more game related stuff, as well as dishing on articles, because there's all sorts of stuff going out there on the web. It's a wild and crazy world out there in gaming, and just thoughts about gaming, entertainment, etc. Otherwise, stuff like that. Yeah. So here it is. All right. So Matt, you are from the Fun and Games podcast, as well as Reignite Podcast, and you were a former editor of the Game Informer show.
Correct. Yes.
Wow.
Up until last Friday, I was the audio editor for the Game Informer show.
Wait. Oh, you basically stuck with them until the end. Well, you were there until the end. Correct.
Yeah, I started 2 years ago and was there until I wasn't anymore.
I'm sorry. I am kind of curious about that, and given that this is the pre-show and like this is the stuff they pay for, I feel like just real quickly, how that whole thing like roll out for you? How did that happen?
Oh, so I was contract, so I wasn't actually a member full time of
Like
the
full-time
staff.
staff?
Yeah,
Okay.
but I'd known Alex Van Aken for quite some time, and when his co-host, the other Alex, left to go work at Bandai Namco, he was looking for someone to just take on some audio editing for him, and so I offered, and so they hired me as a contract worker. I ended up guesting on the show a bunch, and they ended up shouting me out in every episode. It was a blast. I love being a part of it. It evolved to having Marcus Stewart and Kyle Hilliard becoming regular rotating hosts as well, along with Alex, as the show evolved over the last couple of years. And then, last Friday, GameStop, in all of their continued wise decisions, decided to shit can Game Informer. And it sucks. I don't know exactly why I wasn't in the room. I didn't get formally laid off. I found out because Alex was nice enough to let me know once things went down. And then shortly after, of course, GameStop posted from the Game Informer account a tweet saying goodbye that may or may not have been authentic. And then very shortly after, turned GameInformer.com to a homepage that just said thanks for 33 years, and you couldn't even access the articles or the shows anymore.
Yeah, yeah.
Folks lost tons and tons of their articles and writings because they can't access them. It's just a kind of a shit show.
Wait. So like we can't even pull up archives of it. Like like how
So-
online archives.
So the Wayback Machine, I think, does let you pull some stuff, but yeah, it's not conclusive. I know MinMax, as of when we're recording, has a big push. Ben Hansen, a former editor-in-chief, I believe, of Game Informer, has a big push to like save Game Informer in the sense of preserving the history. I don't know a ton of details on that because I haven't been able to keep up with it completely, but I know that Ben Hansen is really working hard to make sure the Game Informer doesn't disappear. But yeah, it was sudden. It was out of nowhere. No one saw it coming. They laid off all 13 employees. Mind you, that magazine was still putting out an issue almost every month, plus all of the content on that website with 13 people because they kept gutting it year after year after year. It's a shame. It's a bummer. But
sounds
not
like GameStop.
not much can be done. I hope that everyone who got let go lands on their feet. I know they're all really talented folks. I mean, you guys know the score. The games journalism space gets worse and worse every year.
Yeah.
There are not a lot of places to go. A lot of folks and some folks are starting up their own places, but it's not super easy. It takes time and it's not cheap. And yeah, it's just it's a bummer all around. But it is what it is. We can't really, unfortunately, do very much about it.
Yeah, I'm sorry, dude. I'm sorry. Even though you weren't like 100% full time there, still like
It breaks my heart regardless.
Yeah.
Like I was a part of that crew, and they made me feel like a part of the staff, even though I wasn't officially on the roster, as it were. But yeah, it's sad. I mean, I think it's sad for anyone, not just people who work there. I mean, this was the longest running video game magazine. And one of the only ones still running. I mean, there are still a few, but like it was back in the days of EGM and GamePro, this magazine existed, and now most of those don't even exist anymore.
Yeah, as a matter of fact,
this was like a last bastion.
There's almost no print out there anymore.
I was trying to think, is there any print media left and stuff like that?
I mean, PC Gamer would be the only one I could think of, but they may also only be digital now. I'm not sure. But like they're the only ones that jump to mind. Nintendo Power, I know, doesn't exist physically anymore. Their podcast and other things that Nintendo does now. But yeah, it's a shame. I like magazines. They just separated their subscription from the game, like the Power Up Rewards, to be its own thing. I just signed up. I got.
Wait, they just did that? Because I used to
6 months ago. Yeah,
I used to be management at GameStop, and we always had a lot of people like they want the Power Up Rewards, but they did not want the magazine. And then we also had people on the flip; they want the magazine, but not the Power Up Rewards. And I thought long before now, GameStop would figure out a way to like separate that.
No, they didn't, but they did this year, and it was going well as far as I know. I signed up, tons of friends signed up. I got the last 3 issues, the most recent one being the Veilguard issue, and it was great. And it sucks also like now. And then yesterday they nuked the Game Informer Twitter account. So now, all of BioWare's coverage that was exclusive to Game Informer, all the links are broken on Twitter. Like all the tweets are gone because they nuked the Twitter account. So now BioWare's lost all this coverage. If I worked at BioWare, I'd be apoplectic.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, yeah,
GameStop.
yeah. Like somebody should take a class action.
Yeah, I don't know that anything will come of it, but it definitely
Yeah,
does feel like GameStop did this with no remorse. I don't know anyone who works at GameStop, but it does feel a little petty at this point, removing all of this stuff from the internet, so it's like it doesn't exist. It's a bummer.
yeah. It's bizarre too, just for the simple fact that like GameStop was looking to be a not company like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And like wild stuff happened, and and regular people actually worked and like helped that stock profile like bounce back because like just if anyone hasn't seen this movie yet, it's called Dumb Money. It talks about the whole GameStop debacle with the stock market and stuff like that, and you will actually learn a few good things from it. Is an excellent movie. I watched it in theaters, and then I watched it again once it came out for home viewing and stuff like that, and it is a good movie. So check that movie out. Like it's got some craziness going on to it, and but you will learn a lot of stuff behind that movie about what was going on with GameStop, as well as what hedge funders were trying to do. Stocks kind of fascinate me, but they also piss me off with some of the stuff that people are able to manipulate and do with it and stuff like that. And, there's a part of me that's like, I kind of want to like get into the stock market and try and see if I can manipulate it. But at the same time, I don't know, like I'm scared, and I'm like, man, I will lose my shirt.
We can't have you lose your shirt, LeRon.
Yeah,
some people may want to see you lose your shirt. I don't know.
Shirt is a staple. That is staple.
Yeah. So real quickly, because we are getting ready to wrap up this show real quickly. What's the overall? What is both of you all's overall outlook about just like where is game journalism going to go?
I think it's going to stick with basically the podcast format, as well as the YouTube space, and it's just we see all these major prints and major publications like making decisions that are laying off good veteran staffs, such as what was it, the Nick Caldera's, what was his
I have a bad memory, like when we're on show recording podcasts. I do. Come on, man.
The Gamist.
Don't do this to me.
Thank you.
Huh?
The Gamist.
Yes. Yeah.
With like their decisions, like basically got rid of half their staff, and they did their own thing, and they're doing it quite successfully too. So, like, I think that's where like the talent's going to go. Is they're just going to start doing their own thing and conglomerating together, and then the companies like BioWare won't go to those giant medias. They'll start going to the bigger influencers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think, folks like Aftermath and Remap, which is formerly Waypoint Advice, like they are those two specific ones were very lucky that when they were laid off from their respective places, they had an install base already, a fan base that was willing to follow them and pay money to help support them. But a lot of them are led by like quality online pieces and podcasts, like you're saying, but like there's no print media is dead, and it sucks because I think there's a place for it, and it's a bummer that it's just kind of evaporating. I mean, but even major games journalism sites, like you think about what happened to Fanbyte a few years ago, and Game Informer now, it's all of these places just lack the stability, and I think it's because advertising doesn't work the way it used to, and I think the way advertising works online versus how it worked in print and in the old-fashioned ways, people don't want to pivot, and or people don't really know how to make money from video game websites anymore. And I mean, even sites like Kotaku and IGN and Polygon are struggling with stuff too. I think that ultimately, like all of them constantly are suffering from layoffs or reorganization. And I think that Patrick's right. I think podcasting is going to be a very strong space. YouTube has been a strong space, but unfortunately YouTube is also still, like gaming, considered somewhat infantile, and it doesn't help that there are man children on that site saying and doing terrible things too. But there's validity too. I mean, I think of like extra credits, and what Matt's doing with that web series that's been around for so long, like stuff like that, teaching us about the games industry. Really helpful, I think, of the Game Maker's Toolkit, which is a smaller site, smaller channel that like showed not only how people make games, but how him as a developer built a game and is now releasing this fall, and like showed the steps. I think of People Make Games, which is Patreon funded, and those guys are based in the UK, and the incredible reporting they do. But they put out videos, once every 2 to 3 weeks because it costs a lot of money and it takes a lot of time. But they run great stories, like their Disco Elysium piece that was like 2 hours long that dove into what happened to Zaum. Like that's the future of games journalism is not privatized, it's the wrong word, but like personal brands and being able to connect directly to the listener or the watcher or the reader. But unfortunately, folks like indie creators like us, we kind of have to build up from the bootstraps on our own. We hopefully have good guests or meet people in person, but it's much harder. Folks who were more independent could look. I've been independent podcasting for over a decade. I had a huge reach via Game Informer, and I was grateful for it. There's less opportunities like that, right? And we just can't step onto a stage without like knowing somebody. And luckily, it is easy to connect in the games industry at events like PAX and other things. But I just don't think we're going to see games journalism in the traditional way we did. Also, because games as an industry is like imploding to some degree with the developer layoffs and all of the other stuff. It's just like we've had more layoffs in the first half of this year than we had of all of last year. We've almost like doubled it at this point. It's yeah. I think until the industry as a whole stabilizes, it's going to be hard, I think, for the journalism space to stabilize as well.
I 100% agree.
Yep. Just want to quickly make a retcon here. I said the gamist, I meant the escapist. That was what I was thinking of.
That's it.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry.
All right. Well, we're gonna go ahead and wrap up the pre-show on that note. We want to thank everybody out there who's listening and or catching us. As of course you always know, you can catch us on Apple Podcasts or Spotify as well as YouTube. And please, just keep those comments, keep those reviews, keep those positive ratings going and everything. And we will see you on the next pre-show for Boss Rush Podcast. So long.
Bye.
Bye.
If you want to see how you can become a Patreon producer, head on over to patreon.com/BossRushNetwork. The Patreon producers for this month are Adriel Munger, Austin Campbell, Celeste Roberts, Christian S., Sana Dierig, Francisco Santillan, Matthew Keel, and Todd Oxtra. Thanks for your continued support of the Boss Rush Network.